Boston Dynamics robot news, Elon Musk's Starship Troopers, DJI's new headset drone, and other breaking high-tech news in this one issue. Adam Savage tested Boston Dynamics' new Spot robotic arm. The point of this experiment was to see how good the Spot arm is right out of the box. That is, without any additional programming and on manual control from the controller. According to Savage, the basic abilities of the robot arm turned out to be very good, which opens up a huge potential for its application in automatic mode. The New York City Police Department used its Spot robot from Boston Dynamics, nicknamed DigiDog. The robot dog helped police inspect the home where the robbers and hostages were suspected to be, streaming video from the robot's camera. The robot ran into the house, climbed up to the right floor, and explored the area. Although there was no criminals in the house, the robot's help was appreciated by the police. However, witnesses in the area were a bit frightened by the robot dog. The open provocation with the armed robot Spot was staged by mischief art pranksters. Project Spot's rampage consisted of locking the robot with a paintball gun on its back into an art gallery with several famous modern work of arts. The organizers then invited everyone to control the robot via internet for 2 minutes. Users could both test Spot's ability to get around obstacles and damage surrounding objects by shooting them with the gun. Boston Dynamics was outraged by such an experiment and even offered the pranksters 2 more robots for their experiments in exchange for Spot's removal of the toy weapon, but they refused. The Toyota Research Institute recently showed their laboratory simulating a room in an ordinary apartment building. It became the testing ground for further research on Toyota's home robots, which we told you about in the video at the link in the tip. Ghost Robotics continued to promote its V60 robots for work at checkpoints as well as military bases. The cheap and reliable robot dogs are supposed to get around the perimeter, but can also be used armed in the future to deal with intruders. The company also showed new tests of the robot's capabilities on hills of loose rock and dirt. Innovative engineering company Infocom Ltd. unveiled a new concept for its Tima robot for exploring the nearest planets in the solar system. The new Tima robot with a swivel leg will be able to quickly ride on wheels and climb rough terrain on improvised feet. DJI unveiled a first-person view flight system. It includes a drone, goggles, and a controller. The drone weighs in at only 800 grams. Its front camera records in 4K at 60 frames per second. The camera's pivoting suspension is stabilized electronically. Video is streamed to the goggles in real time with minimal delay. And it's written on a micro SD card, which is provided for the drone. Acceleration from hover to 100 km per hour is claimed to be at 2 seconds, with flight time of up to 20 minutes and a range of 10 kilometers. There's a total of 3 flight modes available in this new drone: normal, sport, and manual. Normal mode is a lot of fun and at the same time safe and affordable for beginners. The speed of the drone in normal mode is reduced to 50 km per hour. If the sensors of the device think you're going to crash into something, it will be reduced even further. When any unclear situation presents itself, you can simply release the control knobs and the drone will stop and hover in place. In sport mode, there's an increase of speed up to 97 km per hour. Avoiding obstacles no longer slows down the drone, although the system will give you a serious warning in case of a dangerous collision. The manual mode is designed for professional pilots and racing. Here, the speed is already up to 140 km per hour, and you get full control over every aspect of the drone. The current cost of the new DJI FPV drone will come in at $1,299, and that includes the drone, goggles, 1 battery, as well as all the necessary chargers and cables. The prototype Starship from SpaceX, the SN-10, successfully landed for the first time during a test which was aimed at lifting to an altitude of 10 kilometers. The prototype performed a rollover maneuver to a horizontal position for controlled descent using the flaps during free fall in the atmosphere. The rocket then returned to its vertical position, activated the engines, braking, and landed softly. However, just 8 minutes later, the prototype exploded. The American company SkyMule recently showed tests of a drone that was able to help construction workers who were laying rebar for pouring concrete. It independently flies over the laid rebar and binds to the bars, saving workers time. Engineers used a quadcopter with large landing legs and an attached movable platform with a gun to bind the rebar to its bottom. The company claims that the drone speeds up the binding process by at least 2.5 times and also makes it 32% cheaper. But it did not specify exactly how it got to these calculations. The Department of Applied Mechanics at the Technical University of Munich showed off its latest advances of its Lola robotics platform. The robot, without cameras or sensors to get preliminary information about the terrain, was still able to traverse on uneven surfaces. Lola is an electronically powered humanoid with 26 distributed joints with a total weight of 68 grams and 176 centimeters tall. Orbital Assembly Corporation's Voyager Station project, which is the world's first space hotel on low Earth orbit, could become a reality by just 2027, with construction beginning as early as 2025. The design of the hotel will include a restaurant, a cinema, a spa, and holds a capacity of 400 people. There are two new-generation Russian rehabilitation medical exoskeletons, the Exo-Atlet 2 and the Bambini. Recently, the Exo-Atlet was able to receive registration approval from Russia. The Exo-Atlet 2 implements the main function of biofeedback, which is carried out through the initiation of movements. The device also allows you to adjust the degree of assistance to the person. A separate built-in myostimulation unit is synchronized with walking that stimulates exactly the same muscles that would be used by a real person when they walk. The children's exoskeleton Bambini is actually the world's first child exoskeleton that solves the problem of restoring children with cerebral palsy, improving their quality of life, walking, and as a consequence, their cognitive functions. Subscribe to the Pro Robots channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech.